Hey everybody, welcome to Dump a Dish, episode number 8. Coach Zane and Coach Alex. Bet you can't guess where we are, at the good old Affton Ice Rink. Coach, why are we here today?
Oh, we had camps this week. What an awesome week so far. The kids have gotten so much better already on
really
Wednesday.
awesome. Yeah,
it was so cool to see them today. We were
starting to come together.
Yeah, Monday is always starting to get them moving with us, get them used to learning. Not
standing in line.
Yeah,
things like that.
Just paying attention and picking up on the drills, getting used to our cadence of how the camp's going to run. Tuesday is really a building day, and we're teaching them new skills. And then by Wednesday, they start to put them together, and it's starting to come to fruition.
Put them into hockey drills.
It's really cool to watch them. We move the stick handling from just standing still and stick handling, straight across their body on X's to moving down the ice with one of our groups today, and we were like, wow, that was really cool.
It worked.
Yeah, and it's funny because it always surprises us. It works
always.
it works every week, but every week with new kids, it's always fun to see them progress, and really excited that this year we're shooting some video at the beginning of the week and then at the end of the week, so we'll be able to see some before and afters too. So that's really cool to put some of that
I'm excited for that.
Social media, so people can actually see the progress of these kids and what they're learning at our camps, and that's really, really exciting.
That's the coolest part.
It's so cool.
We always
it's
say it, but you guys are going to get to see it this year. It's pretty neat to see the before and after.
Yeah.
Now, we got a big game starting tonight. Who you got in this series? I'll take the other person no matter what.
I'm going to take the Oilers.
Oilers. I like it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, I knew that you like Florida, but I think the Oilers are going to take it this year. I think.
What should the bet be?
Ooh.
How many push-ups?
I think we could do 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups.
20 push-ups.
20
10
push-ups
is a little easy. We give out 10 hotcakes
like
around
candy.
here.
Yeah. All right, 20 push-ups. I like it. Let's make it burn a little bit.
Nice. Should we check out to see what the results are right now on the bracket challenge?
Yeah,
Let me pull it up here. Ooh, J.D. Peterson still leading the way. We got Shar 3390. El Fedke. Hey, Fedkes, what's up? We got Sammy's bracket. Good job, Sammy. We got Wally.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Going to the next set. That's the top 5. Here comes top 10 is Hockey Pro 980.
Okay.
We got Switz's Nightmare. Avid. I'm not happy. We got B. Hertz, Nathan Sayers, and Connor Reichert. Oh, Mr. Reichert's in there.
I like it.
Nice. I'll just tell you what I am. Coach Zane's 92nd. I'm 92nd. For me.
Moving up.
Yeah, moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Now, this week's discussion. I'll give you some veteran tips on when traveling out of town, whether you're driving or flying, things you can do on the road to help build team, things like that. Coach, what's some veteran travel tips if you're flying? Let's start there.
All right, flying. Number 1 is protect your sticks. That's something that very important. What if you don't have a team bag? So a lot of teams will have a bag where all the sticks go into it. That is also dangerous.
Those aren't uncommon. Those aren't very common anymore.
I
haven't seen those. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen many of those.
Other than that, it's take some old sticks and put them on the outside. Tape your sticks together, make them nice and strong. But I always put my game sticks in between 2 old practice sticks and tape them up all the way down.
They can be broken.
Yeah. So if there's going to be damage, if they're going to get bumped and dinged and everything else, that all happens to the outside sticks, and my 2 sticks on the inside are my game sticks, or however many. So making sure those all stay together. Just making sure you protect your equipment. When I pack my bag, I make sure that anything fragile is not on the outside of the bag.
Yeah.
Skates are always in the middle, so I put like a layer of pads on the bottom. I still have my skate guards on, but I make sure I put those in the middle like I'm wrapping a present. Those skates are the most important thing. They're the hardest thing. Like if we break them, you don't want to be breaking in new skates.
No, you don't want to mess with the skates.
And then in today's world, which we didn't have when we played, but making sure that you have extra blades and that they're sharpened and ready to go. So, back in the day, my parents would always make sure that we knew where the closest hockey goods store is, and they're hours. That's the other important thing. As you get older, you may play your last game at 8 o'clock at night and then turn around and play at 7 o'clock in the morning.
There's no skate
You're not going to find a skate sharpener anywhere. So having those extra blades for your skates, they're like $100-$120. They're so worth it.
In the hockey world, you just got to buck up, especially if you're traveling.
Even my 10U, she just finally got into skates that are big enough to have blades, and that was the first thing I went and bought.
Yeah.
Sharpening them. And then the other thing when you're using those, make sure you're sharpening them just like tires and rotating your tires. Don't just use one set, because then all of a sudden you pull the backup set out and they're
a quarter inch shorter and things feel funny on the ice.
100%. That will mess up your stick handling, shooting, all that kind of stuff, because everything's in relation to your head to the ground. and you change that dimension just even by 1/4 of an inch. It's amazing how fine-tuned athletes are, and that'll really mess you up. So when you do get new blades, make sure you use a pair for a week, whatever. When you go get them sharpened, transfer them out, get the new set of blades in there, and keep rotating them so they wear down at the same rate. And there's 1,000 different carriers and cases and versions of that. I don't really have one that's better than the other, the hard ones, the soft ones, but at the end of the day, have
they're
those.
In a bag, inside of a bag, inside of a bag, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, and I've even heard of people now when they travel, they pop out their blades rather than, putting just skate guards on, they pop their blades out and put them in that carrying case inside of the bag. So especially if they're the hard ones that are like the old pencil cases that we had as kids. Yeah, so they slide into little slots and they just put their blades in there so they're not even at risk of getting damaged, because I have had blades that skate guard falls off and then it rubs up against your cage the whole time it's flying, or driving, even worse.
Or your helmet or whatever.
That's what I mean, like the cage on your helmet, and all of a sudden now you pull it out and you got a dull skate because it's out there and rubbed on it the whole time.
My one advice, Apple AirTags. Throw it in your hockey bag so you don't lose the most expensive bag that you carry. That's they're cheap. They're like $20 on Amazon for 3 or 4 of them now. I recommend throw those in any important bags that you're bringing.
Yeah. The airlines are getting better though. When we just flew to California, it showed me when our bags, it sent me a notification when our bags got checked in.
Oh, okay.
When we did a
little FedEx action,
the gate
little
drop,
shipping status.
And then it also gave me a status when they were checked to go onto the plane.
Okay.
So so it did give me a couple status updates as they move through the system, but also that AirTag, you can see exactly where it's at all the time, and if it ends up in a different city, it's very easy to.
We should know where it's at. Call them and say, no, it's right here.
Yeah. So no, those are great. That's great advice for flying on an airplane. And the AirTags, I use them for my golf clubs.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Expensive bags.
Yeah, that's exactly
expensive
right.
bags.
Exactly right. I always carry anything that's super, super important with me also. Like if there's something that I absolutely need as a human being. Not so much for hockey, but just like any other travel, like if your contacts or, just things that you need day to day.
Your stuff.
Yeah, your personal stuff. Make sure you have that with you.
What about some ways to save money on travel? If we're driving up somewhere, something like that, or, how do I save some money traveling? What do you think?
Love the ways to carpool, whether that's flying or driving. Like when you're flying, as you get older, finding other parents that you trust with your kids.
Yeah.
And they'll take the 2 kids the one weekend, and then you take them the next. So you're saving on airfare there. You're also saving on hotels. And then, as parents, finding somebody else that you can bunk up with too. That you don't have your own room. Like, especially as the kids get older, they have a room possibly by themselves, like with their teammates, then, you guys bunk up too. So there's ways to save money in that travel, and then, renting a big, 15-passenger van, throwing the kids in there, and a second one for all the equipment. And you can get everybody up there, and the kids have a blast.
Team bonding, that's more of a team bonding. I don't know if it saved much money if we're getting a bunch of vans and things, but
I think if you're
like
getting
the bonding aspect.
two vans or so, I think you can save money. But at the end of the day, that you're bonding and doing those things.
Yeah, for sure. And then my always thing is pack a cooler. Bring your sodas, your waters, your Gatorades, the snacks, and you can really, it all adds up when you travel 5-10 times a year.
Sure.
Just save $400 in Gatorades and sodas, and then, pack a couple sandwiches. Now we don't have to eat lunch out, things like that. I'm always a fan of planning a little ahead with the meals. Yeah. Pack some lunch meat, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. That's an easy way of doing it.
Well, Coach, I don't have much else this week. What do you got?
My only other one is, with like team dinners and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's always fun.
When you're traveling, finding the right place, family-style dining is awesome. I learned that from Al McInnes when I was coaching with him.
Yeah.
That we went to, I forget the name, Buco de Pepe's or something like that in Chicago. But he would call ahead and be like, all right, I need 6 lasagnas, 3 muscatollis,
couple chicken parms.
And then he's like, and then put out pictures of, waters, lemonades, apple juices, milk, whatever. Tea. Whatever was acceptable for the kids to drink, trying to stay away from the sodas and stuff before bed especially. And then we would arrive, and it would be almost plated and on the table. So there was no ordering, there was none of that mess. You just showed up, your food, for many kids and adults, like the bill gets separated, everybody just kicks in that amount to somebody who's ever paying for it, and then out the door, so you're in and out as fast as possible.
Yes, that's right. The tornado sirens are going off right now.
I
think we should probably wrap this up, get out of this metal building right now, the old tin roof here at Affton.
If I'm going down, I want to be in an ice rink, though.
Not bad.
Yeah. So.
I think that's it. Episode 8 in the books. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Give us your comments. Tell us what you think about this.
What should we talk about next week? What do you want to know on? What can we provide advice on things like that? We've done it a while.
We've got 2 coaches that have been in this for a long time, playing and coaching. Happy to answer any of your questions. Some of our best topics have come from people inside of rinks that have given us questions. I'm like, like, oh, that'd be a great one to talk about. Other people have that question too. So shoot them our way, and we're happy to address any questions you have.
All right, episode 8 in the books. We'll see you later.